Hi.
How? When? Why?
We are live, and when we last played Friday night, our heroes were exploring the caves on a island that was dominated by cliffs, except for one narrow band. A couple members of the party went back to the ship, and they explored through, found a spiraling hallway that went upwards rather steeply, entered an open area, walked in, noted that this was a raised area overlooking what looked like an underground village that did have an open skylight, fissure in the earth above, that was letting light into a small garden area in between the rows of 5 houses on each side. In this area, they saw a mix of many races, some considered monster races. There was gnolls, there was goblins, there was humans, and then there was lizard men.
How is it I don't remember any of that?
The last moment, which was posted to YouTube, was Oni yelling once more, "Hey, lizard guys," into this small village. There does not seem to be any areas where prisoners are being held.
Why don't you have any more failed drones?
I'm sorry. I left them in the future.
You sure it's not the past at this point?
No.
Because, I mean, that was like months ago. Which technically makes it our past.
I got a headache.
Team Venture.
The people who were on the stairs before you seem to be backing down the stairs. You see some men gathering, or males of these groups all gathering together. They do not seem to be segregating themselves at all. They're cohesive as a group. You do see several that seem to be dressed as sailors, or the remnants of the clothing that they have seem to be a mishmash of
Sailor outfits.
what sailors would normally wear.
One of them notice us?
They have noticed you. Well, especially since you stood up at the top and yelled, "Hey, lizard guys." Yeah, they've noticed you.
Oh, good. Have any of the lizard guys come up?
They are with the gathering group.
Don't plan on eating any of them, do you?
No, not really. Oh, maybe. No, not the rest of you. Just the lizard ones. And I'll start walking down the stairs.
The women and children scurry back to the garden area,
Just like sheep.
and the men
I feel like we should be concerned.
line up at the bottom of these stairs.
Hello!
An older gentleman who is of questionable origins. He seems to be not necessarily completely goblin, not necessarily completely human. Approaches up towards you. You can tell that he is seemingly the oldest among the group.
Okay.
And he says to you, "What brings you here, friends?"
Well, originally it was to go talk to these lizard people about why maybe sailors have been disappearing from ships up there. I noticed you happen to be wearing some of their clothes.
Well, we're in a very awkward position at this point.
Not on the stairs?
Nobody has ventured forth into our homes before. At least not for a very long time.
Oh, well, I am Oni. These are my friends.
Hi.
He says, "Perhaps that we should move to a more comfortable situation, have a seat and discuss our situation."
That sounds like a great idea.
Kame lags to the back. She's kind of surprised at your ability to actually speak civilly to someone. I'm pretty sure everybody in the party is. So he leads you down.
It's like the way I've tried starting every single encounter we've come across. Why are you surprised by this?
Well, because normally somebody else jumps up and screws it up.
I know.
Didn't one end with the massacre of like an entire house and it was the wrong one?
Yes,
Yeah.
but that was not me. I literally went up and put my arm around the guy. I've literally started every encounter wanting to talk. And yet everyone is surprised by this.
And yet somehow it's those exact actions that led to
Murder.
this.
Oh, that.
But yeah, murder is also part of it. It's the whole encompassing.
Look, I am not the guy who drug a guy behind a bush and snapped his neck. Not me.
You did drop the guy in the bush.
I did. And he was still breathing.
Bone barrel.
He would have lived had Vetters not been over there and be like, "No witnesses! Oh, hi there, news camera."
Fair
That
enough.
would be it. So he leads you to one of the houses, and they're very small houses. There's only 10 of them. You can tell that there's an upstairs and a downstairs to each of them, and they're separate family dwellings. He sits down. He says, "We have a rather unfortunate situation here. We've been peacefully living here under the guise of a colony, for some, a leper colony. For others, a group of lizard men who will attack anybody who comes ashore and take them prisoner and stuff like that. And I mean, generally speaking, the survivors who don't want to stay leave and perpetuate that order.
The lizard men do attack
I'd rather not use that.
people who come ashore and take them prisoner.
No, generally speaking, no.
Oh, okay. So
Well, yes, but not these lizard men.
I guess I was confused because you just said that.
No, we want people to think that.
Oh, okay. So it's all a clever
We
ruse.
want to be left alone. Since our founder passed away, we've been having difficulties with people who are showing up here on our shores. Yes, we will allow people to join our community. But when our founder was alive, he worked very hard at trying to get us off of the island. But then we realized as he aged that we didn't really need to. We like it here. We like our small community. And I mean, yes, there's some comforts that we don't get that the outside world has. And we've seen this from people who have joined us. And he motions back to what's quite obviously at least 8 of the sailors who were on the ship that you were supposed to rescue.
So why you never come back?
They enjoy themselves much more here on this island, peacefully, not having to scrape and earn like others do out in the normal world. Here, they have a better sense of community. There isn't thieves in their midst constantly. There's no filth from the cities. The ones that stayed are the ones that didn't have families to go back to, and they're perfectly happy here.
Well, so
They just decided to stay. They didn't want to be part of the shipping corporation anymore.
that one over there, pointing at Jazzy, he has hired us to go and basically find why the sailors have been killed whenever approaching this island. And that one, in the fancy suit, made this contract with the shipping company. Now, quite frankly, I don't want to fuck up. I don't want to fuck up
Point
what
at
you got.
that one and say the fancy suit, but the guy in this yellow thing, that's much more fancy. We like his.
He does have wonderful baby puke yellow zoot suit.
Mustard yellow. Thank you.
You ever seen a baby throw up? about the same.
Subtle difference.
Yeah, like subtle difference between lemon and banana.
There's nothing subtle about that difference.
They're both yellow.
One's a lemon, one's a banana.
They're both fruit.
One's round and sour, one's
They both have peels.
spherical, we'll say, and sweet.
So what you're really
Wait,
saying is
hold on.
what you're really
Let's
saying.
just-
I
meant
The only difference between
tubular.
I want to know.
the only difference between them is one
Bananas are
is
spherical. Is this a melon? What?
I said spherical, I meant like tubular in shape.
So the opposite of spherical.
If
it's still
that's the opposite
round
of
on this
spherical.
way. It just depends on which direction you're looking at it from.
Oh,
Hey.
that was beautiful.
Neff, order us a drink.
I
What?
will refrain from ordering a drink again. That did not go well last time.
We're in a bar.
It went well for somebody. Almost went well for somebody.
Inside joke, we'll explain it later. Look, I don't want to fuck up what you guys got here. It seems like a good deal. So my next question is probably going to come off insensitive because I'm kind of dull. Do you have a graveyard?
Huh?
We have catacombs. Why do you ask?
Well, because if I can just bring back like some bodies of some lizard people, I give them to the Sailor Corporation. They say, "Oh, look, you killed the lizard people," and we bring back some of the sailor clothes. We tell them we found who did it. That we could not bring back the remains of the sailors, but we brought back proof of them. The sailing company think everything all good, and we don't have to fuck up the thing you guys got going on here.
I don't think we would have the number of lizard bodies.
So I'm just thinking like 3 or 4.
Now, all of them would be just way too old. We haven't had any. Well, none have died recently.
That's a fair point. Chrome, you got a good idea for how we can not fuck up what they got.
Well, and on top of that, that really wouldn't be, families.
I know, that's why I say it's kind of a crass idea, but I'm just trying to think of ways that satisfy us both. I want to be able to get them off your back. This does seem like a pretty good deal, and ask her. Call me over there. Trust me, I've been through some shit and I've been wanting to just settle down and say fuck it and be someplace nice for a while now, and she keeps talking me back into this crap.
I don't know how I can help you on with this situation, but if you're willing to keep our secret, we'd be in debt to you.
Well, absolutely, am good keeping the secret. As I said, this is kind of a nice deal you guys got going on here. I see no reason to screw that up.
Do you want to stay?
If she would let me get away with it, I totally would.
Kame comes over to you and says,
Hate it when she says that crypto shit. Look, so basically as it stands, where did the old guy go? Damn it. I'm right in thinking this though, right? Lisa's staying, we're not gonna fuck with this.
I say we just turn our happy asses back around and go home.
Well, I want to be able to give them some evidence to not, like, we come back empty-handed, they say, oh, those guys done fucked up, we need to send someone here who's more bloodthirsty than us.
Kame says, maybe we can find someplace else that does have some lizard men that aren't being congenial.
Yeah,
I don't suppose you got any,
You've seen them all?
islands around here with people that are not so amicable to your situation.
There's islands throughout the area, or so we've been told. We don't really leave the island. The sailors might know better.
What if we just found some pirates or bandits and killed them and said, oh, these people did it?
Well, I mean, generally, yes, that's what I'm trying to figure out, is if there's anywhere
Kinda
around there we
has
can
to
do
be
that.
specifically lizard people pirates, because it's those guys that's been doing the deeds.
Well, remember, he was saying that there's just rumors.
Doing the deeds.
Maybe we shouldn't even talk about.
I don't know if I like those
I don't think we
air
like having our that guilty conscience of having somebody killed just to hide our secret. We're not that kind of people here.
Bandits and pirates aren't people.
I've heard that said of goblins and of lizard men also.
Yes,
No,
but
I'm just saying, we just walked down here. It's not like we came down here wanting to set the
I
place
kind
on
of
fire.
agree goblins aren't people.
Ignore her.
Since you just walked in, I'll explain that the village elder that you're speaking to is half goblin.
Okay.
That's not awkward as shit.
Alright. Who's gonna
As is a large number of the people in the room with you.
you hide it very well.
Okay, but
Alright, this is going about as well as ordering a drink.
How's that go again?
Don't want to repeat that mistake.
Well, I mean, our
Okay.
viewers may not understand what we're talking about for
how about this? I have idea that involves least amount of violence possible. I think. Hear me out.
how's
We get some of the sailors'
Not
outfits,
very friendly.
and then that old wreckage up on the shoreline, we burn it. This is my idea. We take back some of the sailors'
Prime
clothes
military.
so we can say we found the remains. And that big boat that's just scrap up on the shore, we burn it. We say we burn it because that way if they come back, we say, well, what did you do with the bodies of the lizard men and the sailors? We
Kill
burn
them.
them. We give them proper burial. Nobody gets hurt, no blood spilled. We come back with evidence, and if they come back, all they see is burnt ashes.
You want to burn the boat of the grandfather?
Well, not if it is actually important to you guys.
It's how our colony started.
It's a monument.
Okay, well,
It's
fuck.
how we got here. It's
It's
originally how we got trapped here. And for many years, the grandfather tried to build a means for us to get away from here. But we decided when he passed away that we didn't really want to leave.
Okay. I'm running low on ideas here then.
just tell them job's done. There's really no way for them to prove that we didn't do anything.
What they do? Bury them all at sea? Fitting into a sailor's life?
Who cares?
Wait, what if we...
Because we need to be on the same fucking page about what happened, that's why.
Sure.
Okay, we buried them at sea, fitting in for sailor.
Yeah.
We could bring them a thing of fake ashes.
Why?
No, we buried them at sea, it's a fitting in for a sailor.
No,
Everybody died. Threw them overboard. Threw them all overboard.
I'll just stop with my ideas then.
Last thing, I talk to the sailors real quick.
Or, hell, tell them the truth. Hey, they found a
Hey,
colony.
guys.
They don't want to come back.
No, because then they're gonna come back here and write them all in this. We're gonna give away their secret. That's a bunch of shit.
The sailors will step. You know, the sailors that are there that are recent additions step forward.
I would like a couple of you guys to just write some notes to loved ones that have been captured. The end is coming for you. You've seen what happened to the other prisoners. And that way I can bring them back as evidence that we had found your remains.
Persuasion. Okay. They'll agree with it. I don't know how believable that story will be on the other end, that they were able to write letters and then suddenly their bodies can't be brought back. Okay. But I'll let it go. You persuaded them.
Okay. We found them in a big box with like their sailor outfits and stuff.
Varys actually is posting. He said we can just put on some theatrics and pretend to kill them in front of the sailors out front.
And one of the sailors says, you want to kill us in front of the other sailors?
Pretend. Pretend.
I keep kicking this fucking camera.
It's good.
Duct tape it.
No, quit kicking it.
I'm just saying, it's dark in here and there's little legs spread out.
Pretend, he says.
But
Yeah,
but why would you kill the people you came to rescue?
He said pretend to, so he wouldn't actually be doing it. I don't know. You uncultured swine. I think you might be misunderstanding the situation.
I think you might be misunderstanding the situation.
I might be misunderstanding the situation. Someone here.
Why would you want to kill the sailors you were sent to save in front of a crew of sailors that were their friends?
I'm just.
Can somebody in the chat help him? Because
Okay.
something's not happening. Something.
Hold on. This
There's
is
no
what.
clicky clackies going on.
Hey, something worse than I said.
This is what Varys is posting.
Perhaps Varys should explain better. Because now the sailors are all kind of getting defensive,
Pretend to kill
saying,
the lizard people.
Oh, so you don't want to kill us or make them think you killed us. You want to make them think you killed the lizard people. That would be less of a dick move. Thank you.
Hey, I'm just reading what he posted.
I think he means that the
Battle.
sailors from the company that came with us out here,
Oh,
that we
there's.
left on the boat, the hired sailors that still aren't onto the roofs. He's not talking about the sailors that are down here. He's talking about the sailors that are on the ship still.
See,
with
I wasn't
Bob.
here.
So now you want to
that's-
kill the sailors on the ship?
No. Pretend to kill the lizard folk in front of the representatives.
Lizard
from
folk.
whoever.
That makes a lot more sense than killing the sailors.
Having
Okay.
battle with the lizard people.
Yeah, the lizard
on the
folk
shoreline
chase
in
us out.
front of the sailors that came with us.
That's not what he had said.
No, I was reading verbatim. So that's not on me. You ass.
No, it's fine.
I haven't seen her in weeks. I got a tormentor.
So he says, I don't know how this is going to work out. Really,
Honestly, I think it's just best to bring back limited amounts of evidence. Say that, we found what happened. We killed the lizard folk, and move on. We don't have to get into too much detail. We're going to make it more complicated than it really is. The best lies are the simplest ones.
So the elder says he would will take you back to the surface if you just want to make up a story, or how do you want to proceed? What do you want to do?
Simple. We're going to leave with a couple of the sailors' outfits. We're going to sail back to the mainland. We're going to tell the sailors on the ship, and we're going to tell the company that we found the lizard folk here. We put an end to them and brought back the remains of the sailors' clothes. Unfortunately, the sailors had come to probably some pretty horrific ends that we're not going to get into detail about.
Okay. He says up in the grandfather's shop, there might be old personal items from the original lizard men that lived on the island that we made peace with. Would that be helpful at all?
It could very well be.
Okay. So
Yeah, we'll go check it.
the sailors gather together and they pull a couple personal items that friends might have been able to identify there, and they pass them over to you. And then the elder
This is my old grandpappy's mouth heart.
says directs a couple of the younger lizard men, goblins, and such to lead you to the workshop to see if you can find anything. And they lead out, and where you had come in from the north, and you'd gone up the spiral. You got up the spiral. You came out you were in the north, you looked south, you saw that this was a really large room with open ceiling. Same type of set of stairs on the left, same type on the right, and then one straight up on the other end. And apparently my printer is running out of ink, so I didn't get a really good printout of the map of the level that you're currently on. But
So where are we in this?
We're in the main room, correct?
right.
Oh,
We're here.
okay.
So they lead you out to the left, or excuse me, the right, to the east. And again, it's a cave system or a carved shaft with many different transitions from natural to carved, going up a good distance. And they bypass one section that opens up to another level, and then they keep going up. Your estimation is that they've probably gone up a good 300 feet. And it opens up into a huge cavern that looks out over the ocean.
Wait, what are we?
And in the cavern,
Okay, this one here.
Oh, cavern.
you can see in the cavern, you come into the cavern and you're facing the back of this.
Oh, okay.
The butt of it.
This is all
That's
that's
the
there,
stern.
just like this. And it's up on blocks,
That's a big
and it's
stern.
extremely dirty, dusty, aged.
Looks like Noah quit halfway through the arc.
And they lead you over to the side where a little tool shed is. And in this tool shed, they start going through little boxes and stuff. They find some lizard man stuff. Some just little trinkets, lizard man jewelry, bones, stuff like that, bone necklaces. And then they pass it over. He says, "Will that help?"
Yes, this will be very good.
We can use your skeleton for our airship, couldn't we?
Yes, we could. That is kind of.
Can we take this whole thing?
What is your intention with this?
It's what the grandfather was working on before he died, when he was trying to get us to escape.
Pick up Jazzy by the scruff of
Can
the
I have
back
it?
of his jacket. This looks exactly like the kind of thing that we can use.
For scale purposes, I'm going to put this in next to the ship here. Excuse me. There's no excuse for you.
Yeah, don't curbludgeon me with that.
Curbludgeon. That is a huge fucking ship, dude.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, we-
these were, are these models like to scale?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's
We have a mighty need.
about that big. Not that oh yeah, that camera can kind of show it. What?
Yeah, we have a mighty need.
Oh, okay.
You've discovered a huge cavern with the beginnings of a hull for a ship.
Div.
Excuse you. This is a group effort.
Div found the group.
The elder is not with you. He sent you up with
Oh, okay.
the others. This is a very rudimentary workshop. There's not, the tools ain't great, but for what he did with what he had,
Well, we can come back with tools and supplies.
there is a huge opening in the cavern. It's completely dry where you're at, but at the end on the south, as you can see in the map here,
Yes.
which I should have made a version to upload for people to look at,
You
you can see
failed.
that there's a very large
Put it up on the website.
opening in the front. I'll put it up.
You did already.
No, I will put it up.
This isn't. That's
Oh.
what he's saying.
Swore it was.
Specifically.
No, the portions that you had only seen before
Oh, okay.
were
Fucking dumb.
uploaded.
Yeah,
to
basically at this point, I'm pretty sure that Jazzy was actually either here or in the
Jazzy-
chat.
Jazzy, I believe, would be like comatose with excitement.
Yeah. So
Or sporting the world's ragingest heart.
The ragingest goblin. Pardon.
Hey man,
yeah.
it's all about perspective.
Huge head, little penis.
Oh God. Okay.
My night just got infinitely better. Okay, so Jazzy, Crom, and I are
And
gonna
he's
go
not
back
here to
down.
defend himself, so.
Are gonna go down, and he's massively hung by fucking goblin standards. That's the best part. King among goblins, remember? We're gonna go back down, and we're gonna talk to the elder. That what we'd really like to do is we'd like to finish what grandfather started. We'd like to come back here with tools and supplies to work on that ship that the three of us have a lot
Well,
of.
let's work that. Let's do the situation. So they bring you back down.
Okay.
Do we need to do this again?
You gonna live over there?
Did you guys eat that other potato?
Okay then.
Did he just smack the back of your head?
No, he made a really slappy
It doesn't
noise.
take
Oh.
much to startle her.
Okay.
So
You're welcome.
Welcome.
they bring you back down to the
elder
elders home.
Hey yo, we're taking
And
your
the-
ship. I have built one. Don't worry.
Oh, diplomacy.
Thank you very much for all of these supplies. This will help embellish a little lie, and that is what I want it to be.
Okay.
I want us to be able to keep your secret, and what would honor us is Crom, Jazzy, and myself are very mechanically inclined. We all have different levels of engineering backgrounds, and we would like to finish what your grandfather started. We would like to come back here with tools and supplies and build a shop in that upper cavern and finish his legacy.
Make that bitch fly.
For the memory of the grandfather, it would be miraculous to see the skyboat fly. It would be much for our people.
I don't know, but knowing her, it's probably like
It's
death hot.
tea. It's tea.
Oh.
Oh, this is
No.
yeah, whatever. This is Japanese.
Is it tea or is it like death peppers?
It's tea.
It's death pepper tea.
So,
Is it tea or death
This is
pepper?
what I
Yes.
Yes.
but this is the memory of the grandfather. This is something that belongs to all of my people, and I have to. We really need to make sure that all of my people benefit from this, not just us who have sentimental feelings towards the grandfather. So I almost hate to ask because I know how valuable and rare it is to ask this, but when you come back, can you bring cake?
I would be happy that we could bring outside supplies to you that you both want and need.
But cake too, right?
Yes.
Oh yes. He agrees.
In fact, I'm going to whisper over at Kami because she locked the box and I don't remember what it's been in it. It's been a while. If she actually has any cakes, pastries, or otherwise goodies in there that I had not.
She does have a large amount of hardtack,
Oh.
which would be fine
know what
for
hardtack is. It's,
which would be fine for these guys. They'd be fine with it. I mean, they'd love it. It's something that doesn't taste like what grows on the island.
Connie, could we
Come,
have a parting gift?
Kame grabs Jazzy by the neck and drops him in the bag.
Bitch, Fido!
A few minutes later, handfuls of rations come flying out. In turn, they give you a full tour of the whole facility that is this island. There is only the one group living area. There are the living areas up on the upper area. They're actually in the middle area. It's below where you're at right now.
There's paths going the whole.
Where the
around.
lookouts will look out to make sure that when somebody's approaching the island, they'll warn the rest.
Shippo.
So just to get a more of a feel for it, you are currently
As we're getting a tour of the thing, I'm going to mention over to Varys to please go disarm and take down your welcome mat at the entrance. Thank you.
Varys trots
Actually, I
off
don't think I can
and disarms his
If you want some. Welcome. Define welcome.
party popper.
He
And
read
set a
the
booby trap.
he read the entrance with a whole bunch of bombs. I'm telling him to go take them down now.
So
That is a behemoth of a ship, though.
I know, it's amazing.
it really isn't that big. Take one of the miniatures
Well-
and put it on the first deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
it's large,
inside,
but it's not
inside first deck.
huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Put it on the second deck.
Yeah, I mean, this is only enough space for a not Oni.
Wow, it could be manned by lots of goblins.
I'm sure it can.
Got one down.
Oni leading a crew
Oh
of
God,
goblins.
why?
You gathered up
Mm-hmm.
artifacts and trinkets, which would next move.
Put it on our ship and tell our employers mission accomplished.
Yeah, basically,
Here's the proof. Bling.
I think at this point, the next best thing is to pack up on the shift with the evidence that we have taken care of the problem and get back to the mainland, get some cake.
There are a couple members of the original crew that are on here, and they're kind of giving you sideways glances, like. So
Okay.
they know.
What do they know?
Well, as it was explained before, the crew of that ship knew what was happening. They didn't want to mutiny, the ones that left, so they made up the story.
Gotcha.
So you're going back to the ship?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're gonna set
Um,
course back to whoever gave us this mission.
Yeah.
And
Back to the mainland.
Okay. The few cannons on the ship, they fire a few of them as a salute to their fallen. Turn and they head back to the temporary capital of the empire, or are you instructing them to go to the nearest?
No, we're going back to where we got the mission from, and if that happened to be the capital of the empire.
It was
Because I don't remember, I wasn't there for that.
it was the temporary capital.
Then yes.
So you go back down to the area that you're in specifically. Are you going to go back to the fish house? Or you just gonna go straight back to the corporate headquarters for the shipping company?
To the specific person, whoever gave us the mission. Let's tell him.
So you go into the offices. You go into the corporate office. Was that Varys that originally did that?
Yes.
Varys, Varys in chat, are you going back to the offices to negotiate your inability to bring back living or dead sailors? All right, don't worry about it. So you guys all rush into this office, say, "Oh my God, we found
We're not gonna rush
that
in there.
thing." Okay,
So I'm not going to
you
the office.
describe.
Okay, I'm gonna go in with the box full of the sailors' outfits and the remains of the lizard men. Be like, regrettably, we were not able to bring anybody back, but I did bring back as much of the remains of everything as I could. And I assume Varys is standing there with me, and Jazzy.
I'll go with that. So this clerk opens it up. He doesn't look real happy. He didn't look happy before. He opens it up and he sees it, and this is not going to bode well for our company. But you held up your end of the bargain.
You now know that your sailors can go through the territory safer now.
Oh, well then, if it's safe, then maybe we could make it like one of our permanent stops.
There's not much there. I don't see a reason you couldn't, but I mean, you just got that tiny little shoreline. There's not. And trust me, I tried to salvage everything on the boat. That boat is a piece of crap.
What boat?
There was an old wreck there. I assume that's why they stopped there in the first place.
Didn't hear anything about that.
I'll look over at Varys just so he can explain. Also, verify that there was in fact a shoddy wreck that, and Jazzy also, who thoroughly went through the ship, that yes, there was in fact a shipwreck there.
They explained that there's only the remains of a hull. They had to have been there for at least 100 years.
Like the vines had taken over what was left of the thing. There was nothing worth bringing back.
He says, "I thank you for your troubles. I can't offer you the amount that we were going to offer if you brought back living or remains, but I can give you at least something to cover your troubles." And he pulls out a small bag of platinum with 50 platinum in it.
I will look disgruntled, as I'm sure will Varys. I suppose this is...
Well, you didn't hold up your end at all.
No, and that's one...
He didn't have to give you anything.
I'm looking disgruntled because it's less, but I'm like, that is understandable, I suppose.
Well, 50 platinum is 500 gold.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm sure it's
So
understandable,
the
but I'm not going to
original
just be like,
price.
okay, thank you. We got the payment for the thing. We got that. I'm going to double check with Varys and Jazzy, considering we're still technically under Jazzy's employ, if there are any other pressing matters.
Wait.
Or,
How the hell are we working for the Goblin now?
because when we got fired from the Silk Caravan thing,
When were we part of a silk caravan?
when we got to this time period, we went to what was then the Empire.
Stop! In character.
Okay. So
Remember, you had an episode where you were dropping bricks on each other's fucking heads when you're popping in and out of Jazzy's pendant.
yeah.
Ready, go.
All right. So remember that time when I kept tricking you and hitting you with bricks and throwing you overboard into the water when we were playing around with Jazzy's pendant?
No.
Did I hit you that hard with a brick?
Yep.
Okay. So I hit you with a brick and then I threw you in the water. It was funny. You would have laughed if you were conscious. We got employed to go work on this caravan transporting silk. But then we found out it was not silk, and Kami got all uppity because apparently she was on Dragon PMS. And she started
dangerous.
a whole... Yeah, I know shit, right?
Oh
Just to clarify,
everywhere.
she was on Dragon Puberty.
That's worse.
Okay, I'm gonna play the ignorant male here and refer to the lady folk Is PMSing not what happens when you start puberty?
Yes.
Like that's
Why are
part of
you?
it, right?
Why did you state that as a
Are you
question?
answering as a question?
I mean,
I
don't
just
get-
feel like this should be known by people.
That's why
You'd
I'm
be surprised what
double-checking, because
men do not know about the female anatomy.
he's questioning me on whether or not that was correct. So
What's
I'm referring
worse,
to you.
puberty hormonal or just PMS hormonal?
PMS hormonal.
Is worse than puberty?
I think
Really?
that's all.
Okay, puberty is worse for the person experiencing it. PMS hormonal is the worst for everyone around them.
I can accept that.
Okay. Anyway, point notwithstanding,
And we are here just for you to learn things.
point notwithstanding.
The more you know.
So she got uppity about that
totally
the caravan guys were lying to us about what they were actually transporting. We never found out, but they fired us on the spot because Kami could not keep her mouth shut. Jazzy was also there, and Jazzy decided that he still needed employment and hirelings or some shit, and he decided that he was going to give us money for us to hire on. So we decided, okay, if they're going to fire us, we'll let him hire us. We have now been following around the goblin. We then went through some more shit, and then he got the job through Varys about going there to get the sailors. So yes, we are technically under his employ still. But as long as he continues to pay us and give me booze, I do not care.
Fair enough.
Just don't
Does that
ask
clarify
for
everything?
any meat.
Why, I got mutton when we were there last.
Ooh.
His chest of meat is horrifying.
Chest of meat.
No, he's got a literal wooden chest of meat because he's a goblin. And goblins don't know how to store food.
You see a chest. Is it firm? I grab it.
Ah!
I'm also going to go see about getting that mutton properly cooked and prepared.
Oh,
Like-
they cleaned it on the ship while you were,
Oh, excellent.
and it's already half eaten.
Oh, well,
It's
It's,
already-
it's a ship full of guys eating hardtack.
okay, yeah, that's fair.
They'll take meat whenever they can get it.
Alright.
Okay. Does
Whatever
Jazzy
you
or
want
Varys
to
have
do.
any other things that we need to go through right now? Do they have any other wants?
Jazzy is increasingly wishing to stop screwing around with you guys right now and work on some projects. He has some things in his mind that he wants to work on, and this constant running around is keeping him from doing that. And he wants you guys to act like loyal subjects
Okay.
and be able to at least understand what it is you need to be doing without him having to tell you.
I will tell Jazzy as you insist, and I will divvy up the platinum amongst the us.
Amongst the us.
How many are technically in our party?
Okay, let's discuss
Whoa.
this.
5?
We have Kame, who
Kameha.
honestly doesn't need your fucking money.
So she don't count.
Crom, Oni,
I want all your money.
Bob, Varys, Neff.
So 5 people that actually want the money.
I want money, yeah.
Who am I missing?
That's it.
Jazzy.
Oh, 6. Well, goblins don't count.
Okay, so basically we're getting 80 apiece, essentially. That'd be 480 divided 6 ways. Jazzy can keep the other 100 because he is technically the person employing us.
So 80 platinum?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's money.
80 platinum pop. Except for Jazzy, who would get 100 because he's the party leader. I'm going to go pick up supplies.
I hate you.
Um,
I hate you.
Load up the Vardo with extra tools. I'm going to see about transporting lumber and also cake and other rations and food supplies, particularly spices,
Where are you loading these up?
In Nevada.
in the Vardo.
You're loading lumber and food
Well,
supplies?
no, I want to go get the price checks on lumber.
Okay.
But spices I'm wanting to purchase, cakes, flowers, things like that, things that they don't have access to on the island that can be used for a while.
Can
To
they
spit it out.
farm on the island?
Yes, they can.
As
Buy seeds.
Bob, or playing Bob's part for now. Things to think about. Seeds for things that will grow in a Nordic environment.
Potatoes, they grow everywhere.
What livestock can you take with you because they've got sheep?
Chickens.
Goats.
What foodstuffs would it not be possible to make there on the island that would be a normal staple? They
Corn
obviously
bread.
had a little bit of grain,
Mm-hmm.
but not that much.
Okay. So yeah,
Corn.
well, that's the kind of stuff that we're gonna go for. I want. We don't need to bring supplies to start fixing the ship right now, as much as just getting tools out there and getting resources for them.
Good.
That'll be first steps here. And then I'm going to inquire about getting passage from a completely different shipping company.
Yeah, they're getting kind of nosy, I think is the word.
They're getting a little bit nosy, just a tiny bit.
Okay, so who has access to, I'm gonna say a Pathfinder book right now?
Anybody who has the internet, technically?
What does a small ship cost in the Pathfinder universe?
What would be a small boat, like a bar? No, not a barge. Sailing ship, ship's boat, warship, raft, rowboat.
A boat fits on a ship. A ship doesn't fit on a boat.
And a raft is just a piece of ship.
So rowboat.
Ah! Twinsies.
I have to click on one of them. That's why. I'll click the rowboat.
A rowboat is gonna be smaller than a longboat.
Okay, like how small of the ship are we talking here?
Well, somebody's wanting to eventually transport lumber.
Long ship.
Ships. Let's see, class of ships.
So
This
long
long
ship.
ship is bigger than a long boat.
10,000 gold pieces for a
Airship.
sailing ship.
It is
Barge.
classified as
A barge, an 80 to 50 foot barge. Oh, it doesn't give me.
A barge is not an ocean-going vessel.
It's a barrow.
Not without
Bark.
barque.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Is there a fan
Cost
in
us
here that I
1,300 gold pieces, or
Let's
13,000
change
gold
background noise.
pieces
Does it? Okay.
for a keel boat.
Caravel. That's a light maneuverable ocean ship.
Okay, Caravel is big.
Well, you guys are figuring that out. I'm going to step over there real quick.
30 to
just 'cause
50
I'm-
feet.
50
That's
gold
not-
pieces for a rowboat
That is not big.
What is
30
this?
to 50 feet.
for 15 feet.
Okay, at 50th scale,
What is this?
that is a
Oh, here, 500 gold pieces for a ship's boat, 10 feet by 20 feet.
that right there is about 60 feet long.
So
No.
it's bigger than a
It's only about 20 feet wide.
barquet.
Not
Five-
if these are 5-foot squares.
Say that. Let's say that that's 6 foot. Well, here, just grab a ruler. There's freaking rulers all
Or
over.
caravel. It's longer
Alexis,
than a,
is
it's
there
bigger than a
ruler
caravel.
over there by you?
No.
Careful, don't break my ship.
But
Don't give a
okay,
shit.
but when you say small boat, like ship's boat, 10 to 20 feet. So smaller?
Look,
bigger?
stop.
Let's
Go down,
see.
go down.
Nim says 50 gold pieces for a rowboat, 10,000 gold pieces for a sailing ship.
So 60 square feet
Merlin
here.
says keel boat is 13 grand.
10,000.
How many feet is that? Let's say that's 24 inches or 2 feet.
It's about 22. 22 inches.
Alfie likes her
Let's
sword
just
collection,
call
by
it,
the
let's
way.
just call it 2 feet.
Okay.
Okay, 2 feet times 50,
And yes, he owns a lot more than what's on the
100
wall.
feet.
That's way bigger than 60.
Actually, I have several more knives.
That's what I'm saying. That's way bigger than 60.
Okay, so it's 100 feet long.
Okay. What kind of boat is this?
That is modeled after
Galleon, maybe?
a smaller galleon.
Okay.
All right,
Because what I'm thinking is we need something roughly
Actually, no, that is a carrack. That is a carrack.
Nate
Hey,
says the
look at
sailing
this.
ship is 20 feet by 75 feet.
We need something like this.
Okay, so
Look
how
at
much is
this.
the sailing ship?
How much is that
Owning
sailing
phase.
ship?
10,000.
In the window.
10,000
Look,
gold
I
pieces
have a
for a
list
sailing
of
ship.
all
So
the
look at about
3.5.
10,000 for a ship that would
Do
get you
what?
by.
So we need to do a couple
What's the
of
difference between a fuel and a
more
loan ship?
missions to get
Let's
the
look.
funding to buy a ship.
Well,
Ships.
okay.
Would it be cheaper to have one built?
A
So
ship?
keel bolt
Yes.
is
To
40
to commission and
squares,
have
40
it built?
squares.
No,
20 by 50.
it wouldn't be cheaper.
13,000 gold pieces. 10,000 gold pieces, 45.
15 by 75. Which is roughly the same, actually.
Yeah, because this is 40 versus 45. It's about the same.
Yeah.
And then there's a sailing ship.
What's the sailing ship?
It's 10,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, 10,000 gold pieces, but it's 20 by 75, 60
That's a big
squares.
one.
It's a
Yeah,
big,
that's
big
pretty.
one.
That's fine. That's all we
thanks
need.
for the host.
What's
Wait,
a
what?
ship's boat?
A ship's
hosting?
boat. 10 by 20, or 1 square?
That's a longboat.
Yeah, a ship. Yeah, that's just a longboat. That's like a landing craft.
Okay,
500. Okay, that's
that's too small.
too small.
That's the little ones that are sitting.
Yeah. What we need is something about that big.
But the one that was a caravel.
Oh, that's too
What
big.
was it? Or no,
The-
Sailing
sailing
ship?
Squares.
sailing ship was 75 feet and it was 10,000.
Yeah.
So what about?
So we're probably looking for something in about the 8,000 gold piece range. To be
Why not just go to the extra 2 and have a 5 foot
fine.
ship?
This is an 8.
Okay,
A bone
so we're looking
skiff
for about a
is-
10,000 foot or 10,000 gold piece ship.
How about a bone skiff?
The fuck is a bone
Bones.
skiff?
It's
Sounds like you're
skiff,
sailing
yeah.
A
a
small
skeleton.
compared to other seagoing vehicles,
You
a bone
bone
skiff
skiff.
can be completely manned by a single creature.
Bonier skiff.
This is because the vehicle itself is an undead creature.
Yeah, I'm not sailing that.
No, that will pass.
That's a hard pass on everybody.
But I really want to ride
No.
out an undead creature.
No.
But I could just cast
No.
glitter
No.
against angry
No.
us.
Bang.
Dancing grease.
Dancing, exactly. Dancing grease glitter. I could cast fire and explode it.
Yeah, where would you even find one of them?
But if I cast
Let's
enough
do
grease,
that.
the undead bone skiff will be tame.
No, it just makes them greasy.
I'm just a simple sorceress learning her way.
Double checking with Jazzy and Kame whether or not we have group fundage for a ship.
Nice segue back on track.
Kame says she will front half.
Can we get a
Front half?
barge?
She will give 5,000.
Okay. That's a really
front
solid
half.
start.
That is a really solid
So
start.
we need 5,000.
Jazzy, on the other hand, I cannot speak for him. Not for fundage.
Okay.
He probably has it though. That might
Fine,
be all
we'll
he
get the
has.
warship.
But he probably has
Well, I
it.
can tell you that he.
Oni, let's get a warship.
I think he gave you guys between all of you.
Oh yeah, I think he gave us all of his
5,000.
money.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't give you all his money.
Okay.
Trust me. But he did give you like, what was it, 1,000, 5,000?
I don't remember.
6,000.
Was it 6,000?
I think
He
so.
gave 1,000 each.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's also we need to figure out a ship that
And then
size.
there's wait. Remember the one mission you guys went on where you never got the money from that? Somebody got the money. Where did it go?
That was way too far in the past. I, as a player, have no
And
idea.
Well, I know what happened to it. You stole it as a player.
Honestly, in real life, what probably happened was I was going to divvy it out and just completely spaced it. But anyway, that's neither here
Well,
nor there. though.
we played it on. This was like the first month we were playing. He's holding like all this money. He's like,
I'll take care of it later and just brain dumped it. Okay, so we're going to get a 75-foot long ship. What is the crew size to operate that thing?
Do we have a way of reaching out to fucking Vordath?
he is not currently available, but there is other resources within the Empire available to talk to.
Okay, because well, I mean, ideally, I'd like us to be able to get just a couple of solid crew members that Vordath will vouch for.
Kame will call him.
Okay.
And
Banana phone.
the answer back is this is a conversation that will need to be a little bit more
Personal?
in-depth and personal. He says he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Okay, that's perfect. We can pick up the ship. We can start loading it with various supplies. We can pick up a couple of odd jobs that stay probably within the city. Until then, it's also probably a good idea that we don't go back there right away anyway.
Fair enough. What
Mustard
is-
yellow zoot suit.
Yes. It is the epitome of high fashion. Thank you.
In the Middle Ages.
Yes. I
You know
am
what?
both ahead and way behind the times.
I vouch for your fashion style.
Right? And the biggest
Fashion
brimmed
style.
hat imaginable.
You are bad at cliches.
It's like a 10-gallon hat, like a 3-foot brim.
But that's okay. That's entertaining.
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right, so yeah, I think that'll be the best bet. We collectively get everything together. We buy the ship. We start stocking it up with things. We take some odd jobs around the city until we're waiting for Vordath to be able to get down here so that he can vouch for some crew. Because
Also, speaking of crew, Nim says sailing ship is built for a crew of 20. 3 decks.
Nim, it's built for a crew of 20. Can we get away with fewer than that?
Yes, skeleton crews are a thing.
Yeah, what's the skeleton crew for that?
You're in the North Sea. I just want to point that out.
Okay. And also,
Man of the yellow hat, race curious George.
ha,
Killed him and ate him!
also I think it would be a good idea, just collectively speaking, that we do a couple of trips on our new ship ourselves before heading back to the island.
A crew made of skilled sailors can survive on a crew of 15. So
Okay.
says Nim.
Skilled sailors are going to cost more.
Yeah, well, that's also why I'm wanting to talk to
Good, good.
Quality
Vordath.
over quantity.
and then let's start picking up odd jobs in the meantime. Oni can go bartend or Oni can go bounce for
Like
a bar for 2 weeks.
The Bond villain, odd jobs? Pick 'em up. Yeah, if we only had 15 people on the crew, us as players would have to step up and take shifts as well.
Oh no, we totally intend to be helping with that. That's actually like each one of us. I'm wanting to count into that. I'm responding to Alphanex. You'd be losing security and they'd be overworked unless you guys were also helping, and that's completely intentional. Is for us to be part of that.
Essentially, the less money we have to pay people, the better.
Yeah.
Do we want to go ahead and just work out what you're grabbing, what you want to load, what cargo you want to take,
Yeah.
and then we'll work out the exact cargo later. I want you to work out that cargo
Gesundheit,
list
by the way.
and the cost of that cargo. Out of game. Work on that.
That's a lot of cargo. That's a lot of work.
It's
that
not a
we
very
have to
big
do.
ship.
Well, still, it's a lot of work that you're putting on us.
That's a lot of whining you're putting on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jazzy is going to insist that he gets a cabin.
Fuck you.
He's-
How many cabins generally are there on a sailing ship?
Just
for the
enough.
smaller one, like 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
like cabins, because everybody else sleeps like
In hammocks over the guns or over in the cargo
like
area.
squad based style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what that is.
you can vision
With
it.
no beds. But anyway,
Kame and Neff can share one. Varys.
Kame has her backpack.
Okay. I was just going to say, Jazzy
Neff
can have
can-
one, Neff and Kami can have one, Crom and Varys can have one, and Oni will sleep somewhere
Where's the Vardo going?
in the hull, in the cargo.
Oh, he can shrink it
Strap
anyway.
down on or you could strap it down on the deck.
Yeah.
He'll
That
probably
looks cool.
he'll probably shrink it anyway.
We can go grab it and put it on strap it on the deck, make it look like that.
Put it in the crow's nest.
So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and jump forward. So you're gathering this 2 weeks of stuff, you're working. Let's go ahead and throw down 200 gold for you. Just on odd jobs.
That's like in the group pool, right?
No, that's for him. He's the
Oh.
only one that said he's gonna job. Bob, let's give Bob 200. Crom,
He'll do some odd
give him
jobs.
$10.
Asshole.
This drone's not working. Well, it's because
It's a chicken, damn it!
Hey! Okay. So yeah, they missed the whole fist bump over here off screen. So you gotta remember
Chicken
you're,
with
you're
an
loading up
antenna
livestock
sticking
and
out
all
its
that
ass?
crap. You want to get the livestock later. Trust
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Because
I wouldn't get them until we actually intend on going there.
Call me Noah.
make up that list for me.
Okay,
Post it in our private chat.
we'll do.
Um,
I'll figure out about
and,
200
and,
gold pieces
and,
worth
and
of
about
stuff.
the cost. Just run through the standard cost.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump forward to when Vordath returns on his little itty bitty airship. Well, in comparison to what you guys are planning.
For the first time today.
And he says that I'm not gonna say it. He's gonna go to one of the more uptown places.
Uptown girl.
And he's going to meet you there at a little pub there.
Okay.
Pubs. PUBG? Is that the name of the place?
Let's go to a pub.
Hello, Vordath.
Laugh.
How's the eye?
How's the eye?
Which one? The one you guys gouged out or the new one?
No, the gouged out
The old
one.
one that works.
It was a combination effort.
The one that Kame gouged out.
Yes.
Oh. Her.
Well, okay, we all contributed in some part. I cast grease.
I did nothing.
You weren't there.
That's true.
Hence did nothing.
He's at the Gettin' Inn.
It actually took me a couple seconds to get that.
No, it really didn't. You bust out laughing as
You
soon as
were
you
right
said it.
there. You were right there. It just seems like it took a long time.
Because you've been drinking. So, Vordath, we have come into possession of a sailing ship that we are wanting to use for a variety of purposes,
The beginnings of a
including
sailing ship.
transportation, odd jobs,
Odd job.
being able to have some more freedom in this time in this world. From what I understand, we are supposed to have some sort of impact here. And if we are, we need to have resources available to us when the time comes. In order to get there, we cannot run a full sailing ship with just the 6 of us. We need to be able to be a little better supplied, especially when it comes to crew. And you, sir, are the kind of person who probably has access to that crew.
I'm glad there was no miniatures there, but thank you. But yes. Vordath, thinking to himself. So, Oni, what is... You shut up. What's your eventual goal of this? Because now, you got to understand, from the point of view of myself and my employers, who you obviously know who they are. We support you. But we can't make you one of ours. We can support you, we can
Essentially, we're just wanting you to point us in the direction of
smack the
where
board over there again.
we can
Don't do it, please.
hire a crew
No.
with a ship. Okay, really.
I need to lay some groundwork here.
Are you wondering what my end game here is?
We kind of know where you're going with this. But we need to lay out some truth bombs to you. We understand where you're going with this. We understand what you want to do. We can give you a limited privateering license.
That's legal piracy.
I understand what that is, yes.
But we need you to understand, or I need you to understand, what your venture is that you're aiming for right now. Because right, what you're doing, or what you're trying to do in order to get into that position, is to hire a bunch of people to show you to a secret fucking place. So you're going to need to...
And that is why I am coming to you.
You're
Because
going
there
to-
was no doubt in my mind that you knew exactly where this place was. You have that kind of knowledge, and I don't want to just hire someone right off the street and show them this place.
I understand. What you're saying is you need the best scum.
Yes,
Out of all the turds in the bowl, we need the floaters.
that's
Well, I've
jazzy.
heard that Jazzy's the shiniest turd on the pile.
Some
So,
turds shine better than others.
but I can point you in the right direction, but you're going to have to interview and select and build followers by the book. You know how in the book it talks
Yeah.
about
Oh, it's
followers?
not.
You're going to need to find followers. And what I suggest is finding people who have the moral compass that you're looking for.
Oh, no, it's not.
Have you
Because-
met our group? There is no moral compass.
But there is certain things
There is very much so
necessary.
an idea
Hey, I have a
of
semi-moral compass.
rules are not important as doing well.
There's rules, and then there's rules.
And as long as you
Rules
follow
don't
it-
matter,
But
but
rules,
rules
matter.
are very important.
But what about rules?
So, yes, that is what we're.
You need to make sure that they have the right moral compass for your group so that they understand what is important and that they'll stick to what is necessary, not necessarily. Make sure they're good for the group. Loyalty is going to be very important for what you're looking to do.
Indeed.
Now, I'm not just saying it as the guy whose eye you poked out. You, collectively.
I understand.
As you guys being, as it is, my lifelong friends. Bringing me to where I am. I owe you something. Which I guarantee you, I will pay that back. And that situation is going to flip back and forth. I'm going to be here for a long time. You guys are going to be around for a long time. As your friend, make sure you pick the right people. So he'll direct you towards a group of people who are now freelance, retired sailors for the Empire who do take on jobs. They're not really fit for military life anymore, but they are definitely fit for ship shape. They're ship shape. They're older. They're experienced, crusty, good men, and they all, generally speaking, hang out in the same area. And what I'll have you do, again, offline, is do some, you buy the book, gather followers, get loyalty rankings, so on and so forth,
Okay.
all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and go with that.
Cool.
And then you can give me the information for them, and I will build up statistics, the NPC sheets for you. But he also says it's very important for you, though, to remember, and you also know that Vordath has a little bit of inside track on you guys.
Yeah.
He knows stuff about you that you don't know or won't know yet. He's met you in different times, different places all over the place. You knew him as a child. You were there from when he was kicked out of his community. Because someone had to cast dancing lights.
What?
It was
It was a
critical. It
self-defense.
was critical to the story. It was going to happen whether you did it or not.
I helped.
You did help. Thank you.
Neff is a helpful sorceress.
Helpful.
Yes.
Listen, I'm more helpful than Crom is.
Oh damn!
Sick burn.
Mr. Drums.
You weren't even around for that.
You explained the whole thing.
I know.
Hey. I'm about to help some explosives in your pack here in a second.
Wouldn't it just end up back near you and explode?
No. I'm an alchemist now.
Okay then.
I can do
So,
this.
Borda says, remember, I mean, we're going to work out the limited license of privateering for you.
Okay.
It'll have some guidelines. What you do outside of that is you. We'll work out the details on that. But knowing the direction that you're going to be going here, remember the need for secrecy for those who are counting on you.
Absolutely.
Are we all gonna have to become Batman now?
Like you would have any problem with that, and no one else there knows what the fuck
In
you're talking
your
about.
case, it'd be more Batman. Well, this is a lot of. I mean, for the people watching who don't see us actually rolling a lot of dice and shit like that, we're building into a situation where we're going to have a lot more going on. Make sure that you please follow us here. Look up our YouTube page for the interviews that we've already done. Favorite us, like us on YouTube. Watch it a couple thousand times so we can make some money. Show it to your friends. Make your kids watch it.
Don't make your kids watch this shit.
Don't make
no,
your kids watch
don't
it.
do that. Ignore that last part.
All right, show your dog.
Have your dog watch it. He'll love it.
But thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next week, Thursday, same time.
What?
Bye.